Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. By the time the bell goes in just 20 minutes, you will have the tools to win. We are here no more than to be investors and to make money on the stock market. That also comes with an amazing community, friends, and those that support you and offer friendship around the world. That's the most important thing above all else, is community. But this community does one thing. It supports each other in the endeavor to be successful. Successful is by being happy, healthy, and well, and as investors, investing on the stock market or crypto to make money for our futures, to support our families. No more, no less. So we're going to focus on that. And by the time the bell goes in 20 minutes time, and then I retire once again to have a cup of tea with my wife. In fact, not a cup of tea today because I'm on a weekend fasting. No food at all for health benefits, to cleanse my mind as well as my body. A lot of noise the last 24 hours, so much so it's caused me to walk away from my in-person friends here in the United States. I now have no friends in the United States of America. My wife is my only friend here in America, other than all of you online, my friends on YouTube and my Discordians. I chose to do this because it seems to me now more than ever, there is noise everywhere. And a strong man and a strong woman is someone that doesn't need to be part of a crowd, doesn't need to follow the trend to make themselves feel important or part of something. If you are simply going along with it and you support anything and everything, you are complicit in it. And by being complicit, you are guilty of whatever comes next. I cannot do that. So what I'm about to share you now are the facts, cutting through the noise, and I guarantee if you spend the next 15 minutes with me, you will win. I always win. I don't lose. I'm always winning, whether I'm on my own or in a team. It makes no difference. So stick with me. Tap the like button if you want to cut through the noise and get to the truth, unscripted, unedited, live as it happens. I'm talking to you. It's 8:10 in the morning on March the 20th. 20 minutes before the bell goes. Let's make some money as investors and stop listening to the noise. So let me focus and talk to you as one person behind the camera lens, not thousands or 112,000 people that follow me, just one person to one person. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen nothing and heard nothing but noise. Trump started out by saying that Japan knows all about a surprise and made a joke around Pearl Harbor. You saw the reaction of the Japanese Prime Minister. You could turn around and say it's a joke, it's not important, it's just Trump. Whatever he says is fine, or you might agree, or you might disagree. Doesn't matter. You've missed the point. You've missed the point. That was noise, okay? Last night, we had Benjamin Netanyahu, the leader of Israel, comparing Jesus Christ to Genghis Khan. Yep, there are no filters left in this world. No one has class. No one has intelligence. It's whoever shouts the loudest seems to win. Create chaos, create noise, and that is exactly what's happening in the stock market. And if you understand it, and with the principles I'm about to share with you, you will win. Let me tell you about the war in Iran from someone who's traveled every country of the world. I bet most people can't say that. I can. I've traveled most countries of the world and experienced most religions. So much so, I've now got to the point in my life that I don't know what I believe anymore. I don't have a religion. I just believe in getting up in the morning and getting on with it. I don't know. I'll leave that to all of you to decide what's right and what's wrong. I just try to do what I believe is right for me. I don't wait for the end of the world to come. I try to make the best out of the life I have here. If there is a God, surely the thing you should be doing is living the best life, not just preparing to be dead, because when you're dead, it gets better. So I'm here to take care of my wife. I'm here to support people. I built this channel to help people, and I go live every day with that endeavor of providing the truth. So let's cut through the noise, shall we, with the war and how you're going to win and how I will win. And I will show you how deeply invested and how bullish I am, because I've invested all my money, all my cash, all my savings, all my margin, and I've borrowed every bit of money I can borrow to buy and support the US stock market. I have done that. The only thing I haven't borrowed and sold against is my house. I haven't done that. I won't do that, because if I drop dead tomorrow, my wife would have a house. She wouldn't have to worry. Whereas this, she would. She wouldn't have a clue what was going on in my portfolio. So let's just remind ourselves about the war for a moment. A few weeks ago, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, said there's no imminent threat now from Iran because Midnight Hammer took out all of it. A few weeks later, apparently it's all back, and now we're going to war. Again, I don't understand that. That was the first issue. Okay, now here we are fighting a war in Iran. Well, let me tell you, it's going to be over in minutes. I am very certain of this. I have a direct link from the White House press room. I also have friends at Bank America. I have friends at Robinhood, a couple of friends at Ripple, and so on. I talk to people all the time directly connected to the sources. This is a money game. And let me explain why it's a money game. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with power and control. And we have none of it. None at all. So let's explain what the war is and how you can win and what it really means and why I know it's about to end. First of all, my friends at Bank America confirmed to me the war must be over in days. It must be over in days. If not, $200 a barrel of oil is coming, and we will be in recession, and it will take years to get out of it. Trump knows this, and Trump wants to win. That's all he cares about, is winning. He likes money. We know he likes money because he literally paints the Oval Office in gold. He wants to show everybody how much gold and money he's got. That's what he does. More than anything else, Trump wants to win and say he has won. So how does he win? It's about control. It's not about money. Oh, hello. Let me just welcome this star guest in. Thank you, Petra. Appreciate it.
At Petra_Menorca tipped €5 through Super Chat. Lovely intro.
Oh, I cut you off then. I do apologise there. Thank you very much for your Super Chat. Lovely intro today. That's very kind of you. Appreciate that. So the Super Chats keep these events live. Thank you. Okay, so we've gone back to war in Iran. Now, this is the part that no one is talking about. No one is, I've checked every media outlet. No one is talking about this at all. It's not about winning. It's not about losing, because no one can win and no one loses. It's about the threat of losing, the threat of winning. Let me explain what that is and why you're going to win if you remain in the stock market. You can see all my positions are now starting to go up. Let me explain how you're going to win. Trump says we're going to war because of imminent threat because of nuclear attack from Iran. Well, we know that wasn't true because he said it just a few weeks earlier. They've got rid of it all. Maybe they have it again. I don't know. Maybe in a few weeks they suddenly dug something up and rebuilt it all. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is, the most important blood vein in the world for the economy, which is Trump's number one focus, money and power and control, is the Strait of Hormuz. Now, most people know all about it. They didn't till recently. That's the shipping lane that must remain open. Without that, nothing works, nothing flows. Bank of America, no. If it doesn't resume normal operations in days, we will be in a recession, which will take years to get out of. Trust me, if you don't trust another thing you hear today, Trump doesn't want that. That will not happen. Absolutely not. So you might say, why doesn't Trump, if there is threats to shipping lanes, why doesn't Trump just bomb the hell out of the whole Strait of Hormuz? It's only like 36 kilometers across. It's a very small area. You could carpet bomb the entire edge of the shipping lane on both sides, and there would be no more attacks from Iran, and ships could flow through. Why doesn't he do that? He's got the power to do it. I even had a good tip-off at the beginning that nuclear was on the table. I mentioned it to Sensei at the beginning. However, that hasn't happened. They could carpet bomb the edges of the straits, and it would all be over. Why don't they do it? They certainly could. There's a reason why they don't do it. It would mean they would have to move closer into the area. They would have to put an aircraft carrier into the straits. If they put an aircraft carrier into the straits, they would lose American lives. Now, Trump will say, and he's right, we have the greatest army in the world. They have the biggest, most sophisticated army in the world, not necessarily the best. I'll explain why in a second. Special guest?
At SCO101 tipped $5 through Super Chat. Not everything that looks good on the surface holds up under real scrutiny. Just do your homework before you buy in.
I'll explain all the entries to buy in a moment. All right? He would need to put an aircraft carrier in the straits. If he put an aircraft carrier in the straits, it would be under attack and American lives would be lost. So, on one hand, you will say the American Army and the Air Force and the Navy is the biggest and the greatest in the world. It probably is the biggest. It's the most expensive. It's not necessarily the best. I know firsthand that the SAS, the Special Air Services, actually, that's a British Army, train the Navy SEALs. That's, think of MI5.
Yeah, I'm with you on war ending soon.
Thank you very much indeed.
As you say.
Thank you very much indeed. They are, think of James Bond, all right? So when you say the American Army is the greatest, it's not completely black and white like that. The Special Air Services, the SAS, James Bond, if you want to dramatise it, they train the Navy SEALs. The British Army aren't some silly joke. They actually train the Navy SEALs, who are regarded as the #1 elite force of the American forces. They can't put an aircraft carrier in the straits because they would lose American lives. They would not be able to protect from every lone guy who pops up behind a hedge with a rocket-propelled grenade. It would be impossible. American lives would be lost. So when you talk about how great and brave and amazing the American forces are, if you look at it, very few American lives get lost. Extremely low. Extremely low. I think we've just reported on 6 deaths so far from the US side. Hardly anything at all. And of course, our thoughts and love go out to those that did lose their lives. But it's a very, very, very small number compared to the other side. America likes to do things remotely. It doesn't go in very often one-on-one combat. It doesn't like to do that. It can't sell that to the American population. It doesn't want boots on the ground. It doesn't want that. It won't do that, no matter what Netanyahu has said this morning. That is not going to happen. I know this. I have it directly from the source. I am extremely confident that is not going to happen. That would not go down with the American people. They do not want American lives to be lost on Iran for a war they see no sense to. Makes no sense. It would be another Vietnam. It's not going to happen. So why is Benjamin Netanyahu saying that boots need to go on the ground? Why is Benjamin Netanyahu, just a few hours after Trump talked about Japan with a big surprise when it refers to Pearl Harbor, mentioning Jesus Christ and Genghis Khan? I'm absolutely speechless, because there's no class anymore in this world. There's no intelligence. There's just greed, power, gluttony, and ridiculous nonsense. And yesterday I walked away from people that can only see one side of what Trump says. I walked away from my only in-person friends I have here in the United States, because I'm prepared to walk alone. I will not stand by, I will not be implicit, and I will not go along with everything someone says. I mean, it's utter nonsense. But we live in a world today so chaotic, people want something to believe in explicitly, and then they just soak it all up and drink the Kool-Aid. That is a lack of confidence, a lack of integrity, a lack of decency, a lack of class, and a lack of intelligence. I will not subscribe to that. So I walked away. I now stand here alone in the United States on my own with my wife and you. That is it. That is it. My in-person friends are in the UK. And when I go back to the UK, we go in the village and we talk about who's had a pasty and a pint down at the pub. We don't talk about politics, death, blowing up people. It's just, hiya mate, how are you? Stuff like that. Not constant barrage from death and doom and gloom and nonsense. So my life dramatically changed yesterday and became extremely lonely, but that's okay, because it's the right thing to do. I cannot surround myself by buffoons that wish to join a fan club. And I'm not saying either side is right or wrong. My job is here to be an investor, share my journey and win. And I always win. I always will win, because I do what's right. So let me tell you what I believe and how to trade this. There's not going to be boots on the ground, and the war could end this weekend. It'll end so quickly, you will miss it. I think Sensei, complicit, not implicit, I beg your pardon, Jacko. This is live, unedited, as I feel it, okay? I thought about what I wanted to say. I'm not reading off a script. I'm just talking to you one-on-one, directly to you, Jacko, and directly to everybody else. So the war will come to an end. Sensei is looking for a better value. I understand that. It is still expensive, but I'm all in. I'm not waiting for the bottom. I'm not waiting for a sign. I'm already in. And let me explain to you why I'm in, and why America, despite all of the ignorance and the nonsense and the people who are one side of an argument or the other, and they cannot see anything in between, despite all of that, it's the greatest economy on earth. And that's coming from an Englishman, a patriotic Englishman that loves God Save the King. I recognize America has the greatest economy in the world. It has the greatest businesses in the world. And why it will win in a war over oil is because it is a net exporter, very rare around the world, a net exporter of the most important thing: energy. Without energy, you have nothing. The United States is a net exporter of energy. It cannot lose this war. It will not lose this war. Not because Trump says so, or this person says so, or we drop bombs on people, because the fact of the matter is, and this is what it comes down to, it's not about oil. It's about control and getting people to bend to your political persuasion. We are not going to bomb Iran to the very end. Absolutely not. If you've traveled the world as I have, you will understand every man in Iran will die, or every one of the government, every one of the leaders in Iran will fight to the utter end, like the kamikaze pilots in Japan. They will go on forever because they see Trump as Satan and they think it's their God right to fight him to the end. There will be no end with just bombing and putting boots on the ground. You'll always have somebody else come back and fire at someone. You can't bomb them into submission. That's why Trump is not putting an aircraft carrier in the Straits and bombing the hell out of the edge of the Straits strait and ending it tomorrow with bombs. He can't. Why is he bombing then? What's the point of blowing stuff up? To disrupt enough so we can act political change. And let me explain this. America can't win, and neither can Iran. Let me explain this. Iran don't need to win. They don't need to blow anything up. All they need to do is threaten that it's too dangerous for those ships to go through the strait. The ships could go through the straits today. They could. No one's stopping them. There's not a physical sign saying do not pass, do not enter. They certainly can go through the straits today, but they won't because they can't get insurance. Nobody wants to be a sitting target in a kill zone, in the death zone. Nobody wants to do that. So nobody will. So all Iran have to do is make it appear that it's dangerous enough. They don't have to win. They don't have to have more bombs than America. They don't have to do anything. Like I have always said, it's not how hard you can punch, it's how many punches you can take. And Iran will take it forever, for 1,000 years. They will take it to the end of time. It's their religion. They will never, ever give up their country or stop or bend the knee to America. Never in a billion years will that ever happen. You can't bomb your way through that. Trump knows that. He cannot sell it to the American people, and Americans die by sitting in the straits in their aircraft carrier. They will lose American soldiers if they do that. They won't do that. So as brave and as courageous as the American army is, it's not boots on the ground, one-on-one combat. It's being done remotely from a Nevada desert, flying drones. Not quite the same as hand-to-hand combat. That is not going to happen. Trump can't sell it, he won't sell it, and it'll achieve nothing because the army will keep coming, like the Zulus did years ago in Africa with the British Empire. They just kept on coming. And eventually, Britain was taken out of South Africa. If you know your history, you'll understand the nature of a warrior, of a religious people. They will go on and on and on and on, and the new generations will be born, and they will grow up, and they will just keep coming and coming and coming. You can't bomb Iran into submission. All Iran have got to do is make the Hormuz Straits seem dangerous and impassable, and nobody will sail through it, and we go into recession, and we have $200 a barrel. Trump knows that. The bell is about to go live on the show, and now I'll tell you how to trade and how to win. Now we understand that. The bell has gone. You can see my positions turning green. I'm about to go to $1 million live on the show. I've started at $5,000. I now have $700,000 invested, and I'm about to go to 1 million. It could come today, this weekend, Monday. It's coming very soon. Those of you sat on the sidelines will miss it. Now I've explained the war can't end through bombs and through attack. It will end through negotiations, and it will be a stand down because both sides will get something out of it. That's how it will win, not because of a war. It will never end by a war. It'll be a Vietnam. It'll go on forever. So now I'm going to tell you what stocks to buy, how to buy them, and how to win. Here we go.
At Sco 101 tipped $5 through Super Chat. You're not a war expert, you're not plugged into the White House, and you don't have ties to Ripple. Quit pretending you're on the inside. Well,
thank you very much for giving me a super chat. I'm now going to ban you from my account because I know who you are. I can reverse. I've got a flag notifying me here. A reverse IP. You're a troll. You're an idiot. You're a stupid fool, and I'm banning you from the server. Thank you very much for giving me a tip. I am not a war expert. I didn't say I was. This is my channel sharing my experiences and my history and what I've read and studied and learned firsthand. So you are correct. I'm not a war expert, but I do have connections with the White House. I do have friends at Ripple. And whether you agree or not, I don't really care. I know what I know. You can say what you like, but I will take the $5 and ban you from my account. So thank you very much indeed. Now you can go and climb back down your silly little hole, you silly little man. I know exactly who you are. Right, so there we go. So now I'm going to tell you how I'm going to win and why I think the stock market is the right place to be. If I put my money in cash, what would happen? Nothing. I would lose 2, 3, 4% a year with inflation. We don't want to do that. What if I put it in the stock market? Which stock market? Which stock? Where do I go? Well, at the end of the day, you can't control the market going up or down, but you can control what you do. Now, if you study the balance sheet, if you read the numbers, if you understand the economy, you will know, and even though I'm a patriot of England, the best economy in the world that home the greatest businesses in the world is America. It's as simple as that. It's not about patriotism. It's not about waving a flag. It's not about I love or hate Trump or anything else. It's just maths. It's just simple. So I buy the stock market. Now, I told you back in October, the stock market would go down and we'd only get one rate cut this year in 2026. I said that a year ago. If I said that and it's true, please put in the chat, everybody, yes or no, I'm a liar. Please fact check me live on the show. You all know I did, but please, you fact check me. I told you that. And it did. The stock market went from October to March down. I said it would. I said would sell off and so on. We're now finding out we're only going to get one rate cut, if any at all. That's also exactly what I said. And if I'm right, say yes in the chat. I told you which stocks would hit targets. $200 for Nvidia, $80 for Coca-Cola. Was I right? Say yes in the chat, or no, I'm wrong. Let's read this.
At F.Shaban99 tipped $4.99 through Super Chat. Martyn, can I get Eid Mubarak from you to all Muslims in this chat? We ask for peace around the world and for success in the stock market, lol.
Thank you very much indeed. I don't know what EID Mubarak is. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. But thank you for your support. I'm sure the people that you're addressing will understand what that is. I don't understand what that is. Anyway, right. So everyone is saying yes. Fantastic. One person went no. Okay, so we can, and the one person that said no is a non-member. So that makes sense. Every single member said yes. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Yes, you did. Appreciate it. Okay, so now we've all fact-checked me that what I've said actually happened and is happening. Let's move on to what I'm doing. So I'm fully invested with every penny I've got, every bit of margin, every bit of external borrowing. I've done everything I can to buy the US stock market. What am I buying? What do I think are the best things to do? Well, I focus on value. At the end of the day, when all the dust settles and the war is over, and it will end for all the reasons I've given, value will always surface and make money. It can never fail. 1 + 1 always equals 2, even if you deny it and come up with some crazy number in your head. Numbers don't lie. Add them up. It's simple. The stock market is not the value of the businesses. It's just a weighing machine. That's all it is. People are just popping in and out, giving their opinions of what they think. It doesn't mean anything. It's not the performance of the businesses. It doesn't affect it at all. We've had the greatest contract ever signed by Nvidia recently, a $1 trillion deal with Amazon. And no one has even spoke about it. Why is this? Well, Nvidia is being controlled. Nvidia stock is being held down. All of this is like some giant master plan, but actually it's very, very simple. What's going on now is to control the stock market, to drive it down, for it to explode. Now, those with money understand that. Those with power understand that. They're in and they're ready. I'm already in. I'm not waiting for a bottom. I'm not waiting for a signal. I understand businesses with value. So let's break down the individual businesses of why I'm in them. Let's start at the top with XRP. XRP is a cryptocurrency. Fortunately, XRP and Ethereum are two of, and not all, but two of, and this just shows you the level of corruption and nonsense in the money world. XRP and Ethereum are part of a club, not all crypto is in, where you can buy the asset, you can then sell it for a loss and buy it back immediately. You can't do that with stocks. You can do that straight away. I'll come on to that. We've got a special guest. Let's hear this.
Admatua team tip $9.99 through Super Chat. I love your approach, it's easy. Sensei is taking me to school. I've been using his research outline to learn. How interesting it is you don't mess with metals and biotech.
Thank you, Motto. No, I don't. I don't at all. Let me explain what I've got. Thank you for your super chat and your comment shared to the world. Thank you. So, and anyone can speak here. Everyone has a voice, even the idiot earlier who just paid me $5 to be an idiot. Can you believe he did that? Oh, it's great. That's how stupid he is. Right. So XRP and Ethereum, okay, these are two assets that you can buy, you can sell for a loss. If it drops 20%, buy straight back at the same price and offset that against the gains in your tax. How crazy is that? Let me explain how that actually works. So we're starting off with the first one. If we go to crypto, you can see here, the idea is, and what real money does is on paper, lose money. In the real world, make money. On paper, lose money. That way, when you make money, you don't pay tax on it. You keep it, make even more money by investing the profit without giving any of it to the tax man. If you look at my crypto, I'm constantly posting losses. Look at that. $12,300 so far. Not bad, right? Have I really lost money? No. I haven't lost a penny. I bought XRP because I know it's going to $5. It's not going to go to 100 and 1,000 like scammers say because of world issues. People said when we get the yen carry trade and issues and rate hikes, XRP will go to $1,000. Utter nonsense. These are just idiots who just say stupid stuff online. Completely pointless people. But I can see it going to 3 in the short term and $5 in the medium to long term, not that long really, but I want to be in it to $10, but I want to be able to have losses on paper, so actually have no tax to pay when I do actually sell, right? So on paper, I'm losing money, but am I losing money? Well, how the heck am I losing money? When I bought XRP at one price, it fell to a lower price. I didn't sell it and get out and go, oh my God, I've lost money. I sold it and bought it back at the same price, waiting for it to go back up. I've lost no money. It went down. I sold it. I bought it back at the same price. I've lost no money, but I've got a, $13,000 tax loss on paper. That's why I own XRP. I know it's going to $5. It's one of the cryptos that I can sell and buy back on the same day. Make sure you are calculating the spread cost, and if it goes back up, you'll be chasing it and losing the benefit. So make sure it does go lower, all the same price. I can then offset that against my taxes, and I know it's going to $5, and I can end up selling it tax-free. That's the number one asset I own. Number two, Ethereum. Why do I buy Ethereum? The same tax benefits as XRP, because I know, as I've spoken to the people that are building the data centers and the exchanges, this is the network that everything runs on. For example, all the smart contracts, like Robinhood, when they talk about their network of tokenizing private assets, it's on the Ethereum network. This is going to double in the next 12 to 18 months.
Has become a member. Kick it, life is easy. He delights in others' suffering.
Thank you very much indeed for your comment, Motto A-Team. Soon you'll be a 2-year member with your 1-year badge turning 2 shortly. All right. So Ethereum is the same thing. Same thing with tax. That's why I buy it. I have about 20% of my portfolio in crypto. So I'm quite bullish, but I mean very bullish, I guess. More bullish than Bank of America would suggest. They say between 3 and 5%. I have 20%. So there is my crypto. Now we'll move down and now we'll look at my stock positions. Now I don't need thousands of stocks. I don't need hundreds and hundreds of stocks. I've currently got $484,000, $500,000 here in my main account. Then I've got my margin. Then I've got my Roth IRA, and then I've got my crypto. So nearly 700 grand now in total exposed to the stock market, all from $5,000 4 years ago. And it has nothing to do with my income on YouTube. That buffoon earlier who gave me $5 of his money and said, "You're just talking nonsense." Well, why would you watch then? Go and watch something else. That's the very definition of madness, watching something you don't agree with and then just watching it anyway. I mean, I walked away from the buffoons. You seem to watch me every day. How insane is that? Absolutely bonkers. Anyway, so that's what I've got invested right now. I'm fully committed. But now let's break down the individual businesses and the stocks that I own. So first of all, the S&P 500. The best way to buy the S&P 500, bar none for anyone, is VOO, V-O-O. Not SPY. SPY is for professional billion-dollar traders who trade billions of times a second. All right? What you want is VOO as a retail investor. It's a passively managed fund. It tracks the 505 actually best businesses in the world, which happen to be American, as it turns out. And you can own this for the minimum cost basis. And I don't mean the price of the stock. That's the inception date when it was set up. It's the same as something that was set up later. I'm on about the management fee, VOO. And I told you when VOO comes back down to 21 times earnings, we went down to 20 yesterday briefly. I'm buying back in. I don't need individual stocks. I can buy this once again. I sold it at 30 times earnings, you may remember, back in October, and here we are now buying it again. Eventually, all I need to own is the S&P. But between now and then, I need to make money on individual stocks that can make far greater returns than the S&P. If you've heard me say that 1,000 times in the chat, say yes, you have said that, or no, you're just making it all up. All right? So there's the S&P. I don't need to explain why it's now coming into 20 times earnings. It's the best businesses in the world. Remember, the special relationship between the United Kingdom and Trump and America is now the same as it's always been. Yes, the United Kingdom, Europe, Australia, the rest of the world doesn't like Trump. They don't. Half of America don't like Trump. That's it. Trump says everyone loves him around the world. It's just not the case at all. It's not the case. You speak to people around the world, they do not support Trump. But the special relationship is the same. The special relationship isn't a personality of one individual president. It's forged over many, many years, hundreds of years, in fact. All right? At least 150 years. So the special relationship is the same. These are deep forged things. And when Trump leaves office, it'll be just like he was never there. Nothing will change. It will be perfectly normal. So that's why I buy the US stock market, because it's still the best. The relationships are fine, even though we've got this immediate turmoil at the moment. Treasury bills. Now, this is what Warren Buffett buys. When Warren Buffett says he holds cash, he doesn't literally have a pile of cash. People say he holds cash. He doesn't. What he actually does is owns short-term treasury bills. The best one for you as a retail investor is SGOV, S-G-O-V. Now, some could argue that's a great place to park your money right now. For those afraid, it's perfect. No risk, zero risk, as much as anything in life is zero. You are lending the US government money. Simple. And you are earning, and it's increased recently because of everything going on. You've got to watch the bond market. It has increased, and it's now 3.58. The yield has increased dramatically. Dramatically. Now, this is the bond market, which no one focuses on. This is why stocks are down, not because of the war. Because if you can get 3.58 at paying out every single day, it literally pays out every day. The stock moves every single day. If you want to call it a stock, it's a bond. Look at it. Look, every day, you can sell it whenever you want, and you're earning 4%, no risk, no stress, no drama. Why not buy it? Why not buy it? It's what scared money does. Now, there's a time to buy treasury bills. I use them. That's why it's sitting there in my portfolio. But I'm out of treasury bills right now because 4% is great. But like last year, and if you look at my performance last year, despite all of this drama last year, all this drama right now, when people say I'm not making any money, I'm still up 27% on a year. I've outperformed the market. I've outperformed Buffett. I've outperformed Wall Street. Done pretty well, right? And I've not done any shorts, no options, 100% solid. Look at that for a performance, 27%. That's me buying with conviction on Liberation Day. I made about 60 grand in about 3 days. I'm now doing it again with the war. This is the way Buffett trades. This is the way Trump trades. This is the way money trades. Real money. It does this. Okay? Not bad, right? 60 grand in 1 year. And it was about 80, 90 if it wasn't for all this nonsense. But this nonsense gives me the opportunity to do it all over again. But now I'm doing it with 700,000, not 500,000. So there is the performance. There is the reality to what you're witnessing. You can see it right there. Now, my trolls and those that are just stupid, like that guy earlier, they will say things like, Martyn's not winning. Martyn's losing. Martyn's an idiot. Martyn doesn't know anything. Well, never losing. I'm always winning. I'm always making money. I understand the mechanics. My sources are good. They're getting better by the day. And this year, I'm going to double that performance and we're going to go to $1 million. And of course, I guess I'll still be losing, right? Okie dokie. So that is how treasury bills work and why bonds are going up. But we're not buying bonds right now. People who are afraid buy bonds. People who are afraid buy gold. There's a time to buy bonds. It is not this time, even though more people are doing it. Why are they doing it? Hedging. Now, why do people hedge? Why do hedge funds hedge? Hence the name, because they have to. Now, remember, as a retail investor, you are in a better position than Warren Buffett. Because Warren Buffett, or anybody else for that matter, hedge fund managers can't do and don't have the flexibility that you have. They don't. They do not have it. They have rules to follow. And what they all do is they're like sheep, like my stupid friends yesterday I walked away from that just literally have blinkers. They got no idea what's going on in the world. They just love one thing, one thing, one thing. They can't see anything. All right? So I completely forgot my train of thought there, what I was about to say. I've completely forgotten my train of thought, what I was about to say. Let me have a sip of water a second. It's completely gone. Can someone remind me what I was just saying then? Oh, being afraid of the market. Yeah, I think I was up to the point. I today didn't want today scripted. I just want to deliver it real live to you, right? As I do every day anyway, but I just want to make the point that I'm just talking to you directly. I don't want to be in treasury bills right now. Yeah, bonds. Thank you, Scottish Pete. Oh, hedge funds. Thank you. That was what I was saying. Yeah. Thank you very much. That comes from Basic Trading, a non-member. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hedge funds.
I can't believe this.
Thank you. Hedge funds have rules to follow. So,
hedge fund rules.
Thank you very much indeed. They have rules they've got to follow, right? They can't just go and say, we're going to buy Bitcoin today if they wanted to, unless they've got pre-authorization. They can't do that. Now, you'll often find, and this another thing I've experienced with talking to very wealthy people, they don't do it themselves. They pay someone else. They go to fund managers who manage their funds, and they lose hundreds of thousands every year. I outperform them all the time. I beat them all the time. They think they're smart and clever, and they pay people to do it for them. If you pay someone to do it for you, you're going to get a very safe version. And the thing is, you will not get anyone who knows more than the other. And you know why? They can't be seen to lose. If you go to Fisher or you go to Merrill Lynch or Bank of America or somebody or Fundstrat with Tom Lee, no one can really outperform the other one. They can't. They're all the same. They're all saying the same thing. They'll say the smart money, buy Amazon. Right? When you set up your portfolio, we're going to buy Amazon and Apple and da-da-da-da-da-da. And they all buy the same thing. Then, when the market crashes, they weren't wrong. It was the market. It was the overall global economy. They can blame somebody else. They can't get sued by their clients. Their clients won't go somewhere else because everybody performed badly. That's what happened in the stock market crash of 2008. Everybody lost. All the experts lost. Handful of people. Michael Burry made money. Michael Burry talked directly with Sensei, and that's why Sensei is well informed. And Sensei has the second best-selling newsletter on Substack, which is the #1 place for newsletters. If you want it, by the way, there is the link to it in the chat. So at the end of the day, they've got to follow rules. You don't have to. You are free to make a real decision. You can buy what the hell you like. They are stuck within frames. So you can always outperform the market if you're sensible. You can always outperform Warren Buffett. You can always outperform your favorite managing fund who you pay money to. They're just businesses, and they've got to protect their businesses by doing enough, but not too much risk, and never lose a client and never get sued, right? So we don't do that. We do it ourselves. So that's about hedge funds. So now we know about our crypto. Now we know about the S&P. Now we understand the war and what's really going on, and why Trump just can't blow it all up and win it that way. Why Iran don't need to win it. They just have to make it seem scary so nobody will go through. And that's it. The whole world economy comes down, and it won't. There's no boots on the ground. Trump will say any moment, probably this weekend, the war's over, the market will go up, everybody gets rich. It's just the way this whole thing works. So let's move on to individual stocks. We understand the bonds, we understand the main stock market, and now let's look at our individual stocks. When I was buying and not buying the S&P at 30 times earnings, now I am, all right? So to show you I am, there's my position from nothing to $41,000 in just a week, or not even a week, a few days, all right? I'm buying individual stocks, Coca-Cola, Google, and Nvidia. Now, anyone in any business in life can only be great and brilliant at a few things. Every entrepreneur I've ever known, every businessman I've ever known, the ones that are successful are the ones that do one thing really, really well. And that's it. This is what I do. I broadcast. I'm an entertainer, an investor. I'm not also working at McDonald's. I'm not also a plumber. I'm not also a gardener. I am simply a broadcaster, an entertainer, an investor. I'm a singer, musician, but it's all about this: broadcasting, delivering, study. This is what I do. What you witness every day is what I do. 24/7, this is all I do. And I don't need 1,000 stocks, because 1,000 stocks aren't necessary. I need growth, I need defensive, I need the broad market, and I need cash convertible bonds. That's all I need. So we know what's the best broad market, VU, the S&P 500. We know what's the best treasury bond, that is SGov. Now we go on to stocks. What is the best defensive play? When the market crashes, something money will rotate from into. Well, I know pretty much all there is to know, I guess, about Coca-Cola. I read the balance sheets, I read the prospectuses, I have a friend there all the time focusing on Coca-Cola, right? And I've been right. Have I been right every time? Yes. $80, 81, now 87, 97 next year. Every trade's been a win. I've made about 40 grand this year on Coca-Cola. I sold it at 81 again, bought it back lower. Now I'm owning it again. There's my Coca-Cola. There it is. There's my position, and I've got $633 coming on the 1st of April. I'm trying to get up to $1,000 a month in dividends. That'll give me a passive income the same way as Warren Buffett operates. I'm currently down on the trade, this current trade, $95,000, all right? I've got 95 grand, so it's not nothing, right? I'm regarded as a whale in the retail space of Coca-Cola. If you are a whale in Coca-Cola, that means you own over $100,000 of this individual stock as a retail investor, and so I am, right? So I'm all in, right? I'm down on this current trade, but I'm up. I've made like 40 grand this year in the last few months on Coca-Cola. I've re-entered and I'm doing it all over again. And this is a position I can use tax lots and trim. And yesterday you saw me do it. You saw me sell some lots on Coca-Cola. I sold lots. I don't do average prices. That's stupid. If you had 5 houses, one house makes money, one house needs a new roof, one house has lost money because the car plant has moved out of the town, so it's gone down in value. Would you sell all 5 houses for an average 1% gain? This house made 50%. This house lost 50%. Would you sell an average of it all? No, you wouldn't, would you? You'd sell the house you've made a huge profit on, the one that was underwater with its roof blown off. You'd fix the roof, renovate it, sell it for a profit, wouldn't you? Well, that's what lots is. You don't average sell. You don't do what YouTubers tell you to do, and they just go, oh, average, dollar cost average, go to the moon. They don't know what they're talking about. They're basically stupid, and it's all nonsense. Holding on, dollar cost averaging, never selling, never trading, stupid. It's not what Wall Street does. It's not what Buffett does. It's not what I do. It's not what Trump does. It's not what money does. All right, so it doesn't work. Over in 20 years, yes, you'll be up by consequence, not by your actions. It's like if you breathe, you might stay alive. You're not being smart. You can't help it. Breathing is a kind of compulsive thing. All right, it's no big deal to say, well, I'm still alive. What did you do? Well, I breathed for 50 years. Well, congratulations to you. Did you go for a walk? Did you exercise? Did you sleep well? Did you drink water? Did you keep healthy? No, I just sat on the sofa and breathed for 50 years. Well done. You've made it to 50. Congratulations. That is the very, very definition of dollar cost averaging and sleepwalking your way into the future. We don't do that on this channel. So there's Coca-Cola. Then we go to Google. Now, Google is down at the moment. Down a lot for me. Absolutely. I'm down 7.5%. However, am I really down 7.5%? Well, those watching who don't listen to what I say or think I'm stupid, that's fine. I probably am. They will say, yeah, you're down 7.5%. You're an idiot. How can you say you're not down 7.5%? We can see you're down 7.5%. That is the average number, means absolutely nothing. You have seen me buy Google at 290, 298, 299 and sell it for a profit. Now, when I sell near the bottom, because I think we're going lower, not higher, the average goes up, doesn't it? That's what happens. So the average goes up. So this trade looks less attractive at the moment. This trade is out with the money at the moment. But have I won on Google trades? Yes. In fact, all my Discordians and Electrum members say yes in the chat if you've seen me win on every single Google trade in the last few weeks, in the last few months.
I can't believe
Share it,
this.
yes or no. Fact check me live on the show. We got a new member.
Beam 7233 has become a member.
I tell you what, anyone who becomes a member today, I've got a special treat for you. I've got a special treat. If we get 10 members live in the show, it's only a couple of bucks. I'm going to give you free stock analysis on your favorite stock. How about that? There's the membership link. Anyone who becomes a member today, we'll spin the wheel. We'll do a little game. We'll spin the wheel and we'll get stock analysis. All right, here we go. Here is spin the wheel. There is spin the wheel. We'll pick 2 people. 10 people become a member live on the show. It's only a couple of bucks. I promise you the membership will never go up, ever. No inflation, ever. I will add more services all the time. And I promise you it's the best value membership on YouTube. No one works as hard as me. Nobody ever will. And I promise you, let me do my face. I promise you that you will get the best service. And that's why we have 2,000 members. And you can see in the chat, 98% of our viewers are members, more than any other channel on YouTube TV. In fact, we have more than double of CNBC and Bloomberg combined. 98% of our live viewers are members. It's a couple of bucks. It never goes up. It's the same price for 4 years, no inflation, and I add more services all the time. If you're asking me what the best value membership is, for most people, it would be Electrum. All right, that we have about 20 or 30 gold members. They have a one-on-one with me every month, a 1-hour call with me. If you want that, that's $23. But for most people, you don't want to talk to me every month, one-on-one. So for you, I would say the best membership is Electrum. Okay, unless you have a business, You don't have to pay 30 grand to sponsor my show. We take no sponsorship. We do it for our members only. You can sponsor what a corporation offer me every day at 30 grand, you can have for $99. All right, we do that because we want to help people. That's it. I don't need your money. I make money from investing. So we provide the best value membership on YouTube. And if we get 10 members become memberships right now, I will do a special members event and I'll spin the wheel. And the members today that became members will get a free stock analysis of your favorite stock. I'll spin the wheel and pick 2. You can't get better than that. All right. So anyway, there's Google. So why am I buying Google? Well, because Google is the best AI play, right? Along with NVIDIA. We'll come on to that in a moment. Google, 100% certain, is going to $400 within 12 months. It's least affected by oil. It's least affected by inflation. In fact, when we had inflation going up the last few years, Google's been rallying, hasn't it? All right, so that's why I'm buying it. Warren Buffett, by the way, has also bought it for value. And that's very unusual, Berkshire buying a tech stock. And they have bought Google. It's fantastic. So why is it selling off so much now? Well, it plays about 6 to 7% of the S&P 500. So people now are getting scared. They're buying bonds, guaranteed 4%. They're selling out of the market. When they sell out the market, it hits the tech stocks and the Mag 7 most because they make up 30%.
At Tidy Big Dog 2407 tipped £1.99 through Super Chat. Happy Friday, guys and girls.
Thank you very much, Tidy Big Dog. So Google is going to outperform the S&P 500, but now the S&P is falling. I can buy the S&P and I'm buying Google indirectly anyway. So there you go. All right. So Google will outperform. That's why I own it. And it pays a half decent dividend, actually. Not too bad at all. If you look at it, this is my dividend payout. Sure. Oh, I just had it a couple of days ago. Where was it? The dividend payout in the history was... there you go, $184. Not that much, but I'll take $184. Gives me half a share or thereabouts, just over half a share. So fair enough, right? By the way, I don't do reinvest dividends automatically. I do it when it goes down, not automatically. It's a silly way of doing it. So Google, I know that businesses are spending more money on advertisement. How do I know that? I work for Google. I'm on YouTube. I see the ad revenue. I know Google is a great business and it's least affected. It's going down because people are buying bonds for safety. Who the hell wants to be safe right now? I want to be buying. You're all selling. I'm buying. I'm borrowing and I'm buying every penny I can. Now, some of you will say, or some of you will look for indicators and charts and levels and you'll want to buy back at the lowest price. Chances are you will miss it. It's been proven over history. Those that are in the game always make more than those sat on the sidelines with their cash. And remember, your cash is going down in value all the time. Your buying power is going down all the time. And then you buy in and you miss it. And when you buy in because everybody else is buying in like sheep, once again, like lemmings. That means we've already had a pump. So what's the point of that? I'm already in. Lastly, NVIDIA. Now, this is an incredible story. Because it's so big, it goes down quickly when everyone sells the index. Obviously it does. It makes 7% of the S&P 500. So if everyone's selling out and buying bonds to earn 4%, which they are right now, NVIDIA is going to go down. NVIDIA have just done a deal with Amazon for $1 trillion. We've just smashed the earnings. We should be at $250 already. And we're at 176. Look at the earnings. Look at the growth. Look at it. Look at it. What is there not to like about that? Nothing. You're buying a business. If you're what you're doing when you buy the stock market, price is what you get, and price is what you pay, and value is what you get. So I'm buying NVIDIA and I've got 100 grand of NVIDIA as well. I know that's going to at least $250, near 50%. In fact, we get, yeah. All right. Bank of America think it's going to $300, nearly double where it is today within 12 months. Most people are going to miss it. Now, you can sit on the sidelines and be a lemming and a follower, or you could be a leader and you can go alone. I have gone alone. I've walked away from the ignorant, stupid buffoons that were my friends in America. I want nothing to do with it. I only want to associate myself with winners. And I don't mean rich people, because these guys have more money than sense. They pay other people to manage their money. They haven't got a clue what they're talking about. They always think the stock market will always go up. They are dollar cost average, always buy the dip. These people say that America is fantastic. Yes, America is fantastic, but not because of you. Most people in America have done nothing, as most people in England have done nothing. Most people do nothing. The people that make America great or make Britain great, the scientists, the inventors, the pioneers, are less than 0.0000001%. Most people who are egotistical, stupid, lazy, will sit on their asses and go, wherever they live, whether it's England, Europe, Italy, France, Germany, America, it's the greatest country in the world, to their own country. And they've achieved and contribute nothing. I cannot associate myself with people that are stupid, that are rich because they just lived in an era where they got paid too much money. And they lived in a country that was rich, and they think it always goes up and nothing can go wrong, and whatever someone says is always right. No, you must challenge and question everything. The moment you become complicit and sit and accept everything, when you can see it's blatantly stupid, offensive, and wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not woke. People say, oh, everyone's offended. I agree. It's just words. However, if you're a comedian, if you're entertaining, if you're Ricky Gervais or you're me sitting here making jokes, that's just jokes. That's entertainment. However, if you are the president of America, the most powerful country in the world, and you are addressing the Japanese prime minister, and hundreds of thousands of people were blown up with the world's first nuclear bomb, and thousands of American soldiers were killed at Pearl Harbor, that's not a joke. You are no place to make jokes. It's lack of class, it's a lack of intelligence, and anyone who thinks that's acceptable, in my book, is nuts. No, I don't say you are stupid if you support Trump. I don't say you're stupid if you don't. But if you see nothing bad in that, then I'm sorry for you. And that's up to you, but I will not be hanging out with you at the bar. Absolutely not. I want to hang out with smart people, clever people, open-minded people, people that question and challenge. Now, if you don't believe me, or you don't think, or if you think I'm overreacting in some way, I will just share this with you. And I think this is important because at the end of the day, as a president or any leader, it's not what you think, it's not what you do, it's how it's seen by the rest of the world. That's what's most important. So look, just for a moment, I'm going to share with you exactly, and I did this for a reason. Look at the reaction from the Japanese Prime Minister. Don't take my word for it. Look at the Japanese Prime Minister's face when he said this. Watch.
About surprise in Japan. Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
The President of the United States, live with the Japanese Prime Minister, live from the Oval Office, said Japan knows all about surprise. Remember Pearl Harbor? He literally said that to the Japanese Prime Minister live. I am blown away by what he said, but now listen to this. You won't believe it. Let's hear it live from the President of the United States to the Japanese Prime Minister. Here we go. It's the reaction.
Who knows better about surprise in Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right?
He said, did you not then hear Trump? He realized he made a mistake. Did you pick that up? Right? Did you pick up his tone, his body language? Yeah, he said that he knew he made a mistake. His own people groaned. Now, that's okay. He made a mistake, whatever. You can judge it any way you want. But when you address this and you have a conversation about this and you just go, yeah, it's great, it's funny, it's brilliant, whatever he says is great, then you are an idiot. You have to have, listen to himself. He stutters. He knew it was a mistake. He himself knew it was a mistake.
Right?
Yeah, right. He said that. He knew it was a mistake. So the point I'm trying to make with showing you this is people who are ignorant. And if you want to be ignorant, that's fine. There's lots of stupid people in the world. If you want to be ignorant and go, Martyn's just Trump bashing, then you're an idiot. Then your mind is shut down. You are one of those people that just sees it one way. And that's fine. That's for you. Live in your hole and live the way you want to live. I prefer to walk into a library. I don't go left or right. I go all over the library. I read everything. I listen to everyone. I invite everyone to come in. This is how you learn. I am not supporting Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. I like some things he does. I don't like other things he does. I'm not political. I don't have, I can't vote. I wouldn't vote. I'm a green card holder. I can't vote. I'm in America because my wife is here and I'm here to make money as an investor and a broadcaster. That's what I do. That's all I do. And all I do is share with you the facts. So at the beginning of this video, I tried to explain what was going on in the last 24 hours. What we've got is classless noise and nonsense, all designed to make them money. And they will. I'm extremely confident all of a sudden the stock market is going to shoot up because the war will not be won. There will not be boots on the ground. Absolutely not. 100%. America would not support it. Absolutely 100%. So I am very confident that all Iran have to do is make it seem dangerous. Ships won't go through. The world economy collapses. That's it. That cannot happen. That will not happen. And you can't achieve that by bombing the hell out of it because America have the bombs to do it, but they're not doing it because they can't do it. There'll always be somebody else who pops up from behind a rock with a rocket propelled grenade and shoots at a ship. And then this very narrow strait has there's an oil crisis, there's a ship blown up right in the center of it. Nothing can pass for days and weeks and nobody would go through it again and that'd be it. So you can't stop that by bombing it or even putting boots on the ground. What has happened here? Trump's gone in, created noise, created chaos. You got Benjamin Netanyahu comparing Jesus to Genghis Khan, offending everybody around the world. I'm absolutely blown away by that. Just beyond me. Trump's saying what Trump's saying, and all the world's gone absolutely crazy. And at the end of the day, all of a sudden, Trump's going to say, the war's over, we've won, no one's won anything, but the stock market goes up and I make money. And that's all I'm here to do. Not to judge anyone, but I am not prepared to sit around and just listen to nonsense. So there we go. There's my information for the day. I'm now going to give you the final points of how you always win and the strategies that I always use to always win. So let me share them with you. And I'll go to live Q&A right after this. Here's my Bible of information of how to trade. When the time comes to buy, you won't want to. When the time comes to buy, you won't want to. Nobody wants to buy right now. No one's buying. Everyone's selling. I'm buying. I can't wait until Monday. On Monday, I get paid again. Guess what? I'm going to buy and borrow more money and buy even more. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to put it in cash. I'm not going to put it in bonds. I'm going to buy because the value is already there. Most important, our time together, why we're here together. What I try to do is do everything I can to be thoughtful of the time it takes, thereby being useful to you. It's important to me not to just show up. It's not about just showing up. It's about being useful. I want to be useful to you, not simply show up just to make noise. Okay? That's very important to me. Most importantly, I respect your time and I want to be useful. And I hope that I am being useful. Real money in crypto is not price. It's power and control. You have neither. Nobody here has either. Real money in crypto is not price, it's power and control, and you have neither. Don't be in any asset where idiots reside. Think of this one. Don't be in any asset where idiots reside with huge leverage. Now, I'm in margin, but 1-for-1. That's no risk to me at all. I've got like a 46% buffer. Not going to get margin call with a 46% buffer when you own the S&P. It's just not possible, right? My XRP is external because it's when you borrow money to buy XRP, it regards it as a withdrawal. It's already the worst case scenario. Those that use 10Xs, 100Xs, they're the ones all lose money. So don't be in an asset, binky bonk fart coin, where idiots reside with huge leverage. Would you hang out in the worst bar in town? Well, my worst bar in town I thought was the best bar in town, but it was full of idiots. I've walked away. I now have literally no friends in the whole of the United States. Other than my friends here, I don't socialize with anybody. I don't focus on anything. I focus on the job and I walk alone. That is it. All right? I will not get involved in that. History does not repeat itself. People keep going on about history repeats itself. It doesn't, but it does rhyme. That's a famous quote. That's not my one. Everything else is my quotes. That one was from Mark Twain. Everything else are my own thoughts that I'm sharing with you. All right? It's not about not being afraid. So those of you going, oh, I'm not afraid. Oh, but I've got Binky Bonk and it's going to go to $1 million. I'm not afraid. You're just stupid. You don't know what you don't know. We brought you the Jane Street story. We brought you the Jeffrey Epstein story when it comes to the with XRP and the Bitcoin crisis. We explained it all to you. I showed you how Michael Saylor is the worst trader in history. He always buys Bitcoin at the worst price. I beat him every time. He's terrible. Anyway, so it's not about being afraid. It's about getting on with it and doing it anyway. You should be afraid. You should be concerned. I am concerned. I'm not concerned for my portfolio, but I am concerned for the world and the global economy. But I'm getting on with it anyway. I'm not afraid. I'm not sitting on the sidelines. I'm in. On average, 20 times earnings never makes any money. On average, through history. If you buy an asset 20 times earnings in history, it doesn't make you any money. And we're referring to the S&P 500. You've got to buy it under 22 times earnings. Otherwise, you're waiting for years and then you've got inflation, so you end up making no money for ages. The S&P average is not the norm. People that are just stupid and blind and just say the markets always go up and dollar cost average and you always win. They say the S&P average 10% a year. Just buy the S&P 10% a year, blah, blah, blah. Rubbish, nonsense. They don't know what they're talking about. The S&P averages 10% a year, correct, but it's not the norm. Some years it loses money. Some years it makes a lot more money. Look what happened last year. I was 30%. I made 60 grand last year. Can outperform the S&P anyway. 10% is the average, not the norm. So when it's 30 times earnings, you don't buy it. Then I was in the individual stocks. You saw me doing it. Don't risk what you have for things you don't even need. What's the point? Know what your target is. Why would anybody, seriously, why would anybody go out and invest on a speculative asset for something they don't even need? I mean, what's the sense of that? So you risk all your money to get a Lamborghini. You don't even know what it is to own one. I do. I've had sports cars. I've had very expensive cars and jet skis and all sorts of silly things, and they cost a fortune to maintain. Most average people can't afford to maintain them. So what's the point? What is the point in risking things for things that you don't need? For things that you need, yes, but not for things that you want. Oh, I want the latest iPhone. You don't need the iPhone. It won't serve you any purpose. What is the point? Catching falling knife is a fallacy. People say to me, I'm doing it all wrong because I'm trying to catch a falling knife. You make the most money catching a falling knife, but you do it carefully. I am now extremely in with the market. All my cash, all my money, all my margin, all my external borrowing. I have to manage every bill, every expense, every minute of every day to be able to manage that. It takes discipline. It's not easy. I didn't just go, Let me just buy the S&P on margin and buy Binky Bonk on margin. Oh shit, I can't pay the mortgage today. Oh, I can't pay the bills. No, I've got it all strategized and worked out. It's not easy. Catching a falling knife is a fallacy. You make the most money by doing it, but what you do is you do it carefully. Okay? When everyone's buying carefree without regard for valuation, that's when you know you're in a bubble. That's where we was. That's what I said. Don't buy it now. Sold it, and I bought individual stocks, and I won. When everyone is buying carefree, and they were a few months ago, without regard for valuation, that's when you're in a bubble. And now look what's happening. Over the last 4 years, I've learned more from you than you have from me. I watch your behavior. I watch how you react. Everything that I've done here and every trade has been learned from you. Now I'm making money. It's not about, hang on a minute. These are my quotes that I've written down. I lost my place then. Here it is. How I'm making money is I'm not focusing on winning. I'm focusing on not losing and staying in the game. Let me explain that again. I'm not focusing on winning. I'm focusing on not losing and staying in the game. At the end of the day, if I manage to survive and I keep my portfolio active and I service my debt and I don't get margin called and I've got all this great stock, great businesses, Nvidia, Google, the S&P and XRP and Ethereum, all great assets. I don't have Binky Bonk. I don't have Fartcoin. I don't have businesses with no balance sheets. I don't have, well, apart from crypto, of course. I don't have businesses with debt. I have debt, but manageable debt. I have quality businesses. I am going to come out on top. So I'm not focusing on winning right now. I'm focusing on acquiring more stock at lower prices and not losing. Fewer losses, more winners. If you never lose, you're going to win bigger than anyone. There's no point winning big one day and losing big the next day, is there? No point. If you consistently win, and you've seen all my trades consistently win over and over and over again. I don't lose. Yesterday I sold for a loss on purpose, so we had to mark it down as a tax loss, but bought it back at the same price. Was that a real loss? Well, yes, it was, because I did it for a tax loss. But did I really lose money? No, of course I didn't. I sold it for X and bought it for X straight away. I posted a tax loss, but I didn't lose any money. Stop losing and you'll have more winners. You'll always have more. I've got 2 quotes left and I'm going to wrap this up. You'll always have more and rise to the top if you consistently win rather than winning big and losing big. Simple, not easy. I can tell you what to do, but most of you won't do it. Isn't that the truth? I can tell you what to do, but most of you won't do it anyway. I tell myself every day, get up, go for a walk, eat less, do this, do that. I don't do it. And then I complain because, I'm not as healthy as I should be. I hope this has been a useful use of your time this morning. I hope it's encouraged you. I hope you feel better today. World War III is not going to happen, and there's no point focusing on it. Because if World War III is going to happen, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to prepare for it. Digging a hole in the garden and filling it with cans of beans and arming yourself with gold and guns isn't going to do anything, because the first thing that happens if you survive the Holocaust is the neighbor who you bragged to about the gold and the guns is going to come and steal them from you. You're going to be the number one target and everyone's going to be after you. And even if they don't, and you're sitting there in your bunker with your gold, what are you going to do with it? Can you eat it? Can you trade it? Of course you can't. You can't trade anymore. There's no internet. You can't message somebody across the world and say, do you want to buy my gold? What are you going to do with it? There's no facilities. There's no electricity. There's no internet. There's no way to trade anything. You're just sitting there looking at a pile of gold. What are you going to do? The people that will survive and the people that will do well are the people in the third world who already know how to survive by digging holes in the ground with their hands, reaching water, killing an animal, eating it. Those people will survive. You with your guns, you'll get shot by the neighbor because he'll take it off you, and your gold will do absolutely nothing. So there's no point prepping for the end of the world. Live life as this is the best place in the world to be. Whether you're religious or not, think of this as heaven. This is the life you've been given. If you believe in nature or science or a God, you are here. It's a bloody miracle that you are here. If you are lucky enough to be in America, you were lucky. You were lucky. You're in a country that's not at war with itself. It's at war with other countries, but not itself. You're lucky. You're not in a war-torn country. Count yourself as lucky. Don't count yourself as blessed. I think that's rude when people say, I've been blessed. What, so everybody else has been doomed? No, you haven't. You just got born in the right place at the right time. You got lucky. So if you're born and you're alive and you exist and you're here today and you have the internet and you have electricity and you have health and you're alive and you have running water, you're already 99% richer than everybody else on the planet. That's a statistical fact. Be happy and proud. Get on with it. Work. Focus on your family. Focus on your loved ones. Do what's right. Stay on the game. And if you want to invest for the future rather than spend money, look at value. Focus on what is likely to be worth more in the future. Not because of a belief, not because of a religion, not because somebody told you so, because you read the business. You read the balance sheet. You understand what it's worth and so on and so forth. I will leave you with this final example. My business earns 100 grand a year. That's what I earn on YouTube a year. So if I said to you, would you like to buy my business today as an investor? And I had one share and you could buy the entire business. My business would be worth $200,000. 2 years. That is how you value a business. That is the standard for accountants, CPA, financial people. That is how you do it. Because you're buying this year's income, which is done, and next year's income, because you can see the balance sheet, you can see the books. That's what you pay for. And you pay me $200,000. One share of $200,000 or 200,000 $1 shares, it makes no difference. That's the value of my business. You look at my debt, my profit, you can see my growth. It's a good business. You can see it for always growing and increasing. You can see I've got no debt. So you're buying a great business, right? If I was to sell my business to you today, $200,000, that would be a good buy. If I sold it to you for $100,000, it would be undervalued. But if I said to you, pay me $1 million for my business, you're buying the future price, the future income, which I may or may not deliver. Remember, when you buy a business, you buy the people that work there. That's what you do. If you bought my business, you would buy me showing up doing my job. What if you paid me, think about it, a public company, you give me $1 million. I got $1 million and then I go, stuff it, I'm lazy. But you go, but you work for me now. You got a contract, show up every morning, do a good job. But I go, my heart's not in it now, mate. Eventually you fire me and replace me with somebody else. Next person can't be bothered. The channel collapses, makes no money. That is when you overpay for a business. So when you buy a business, you value it exactly the same way. Look at what it earns, look at what it makes, and assume it could collapse next year. And then you've bought it undervalued. That's why I buy the S&P. That's why I buy Coca-Cola, Nvidia, Ethereum, XRP, and Google. That's it. I know what I buy. I understand the value. I know what's going on in Iran. I know how it's going to end. It's as simple as that. Straightforward. They know it. We all know it. And you know what? My final prediction, just before they announced the war is ended and we're leaving, Trump will know he's going to say that. Netanyahu will know he's going to say that. They and their family and their friends will buy the S&P, will buy the market, will buy Nvidia, will buy Google. It will shoot up. And then you'll get the announcement. Then everybody else will chase it up. I will already be in. So I don't have to buy the bottom. I just have to remain. My job as an investor is to be forever in great businesses and be in the market, remain in the market, keep myself in the market and have discipline to remain in the market. as a broadcaster and as your friend and my only friends, other than my friends in England who just want to talk about the price of pasties, not who's blowing up the world every 5 minutes. I can't wait to talk to them again, by the way. My friends here, my Lucasades and my Discordians, I give you all my time. I'm live with you every day. This is what I do. What I'm trying to do is help you. I'm sharing with you my thoughts, my opinions, my experiences. I'm not always right, even though it does appear that way the last 3 years, and I'm not always wrong. I'm just me sharing my thoughts with you. I'm trying to do my best. I'm not trying to sell videos. It doesn't matter to me whether you become a member or not. I appreciate you doing so. Without your membership, without your super chats, I can't be here live with you every day. This is my job. I earn nothing, hardly anything on ad revenue because I'm live all the time. YouTubers make money from videos. If you're live all the time, you live on the super chats and the memberships. That's it. So I want to thank you all for supporting me over 4 years. I want to thank you all for being here. I am here with you every single day. I will always be here. I will never go anywhere. Even if when I move my studio back to England, I will be with you live every day, offering the best information that I can. I won't be biased. I won't be I'll be completely impartial. I will find the facts. I will study it with Sensei. We'll deliver it to you in our newsletter. And that's it. That's what I promise to do for you. That's it from me. If you'd like to join me on Discord, there's the link. There's the membership link. 90% discount to Discord. You can see all of my trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can send me messages 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I answer everyone personally. No AI, no robots, no bots. It's only a couple of bucks to be a member. Most people, just about everybody actually, is on the pro plan. It's only $2.99 for the entry level if you want the pro plan, which is worth $1,000 a month. Everyone who says it is, all right, I give it to you for $4.99 if you do it on a browser. Some people say, oh, it cost me $5 or $6. That's because you did it through Apple and Apple took the profit. I don't make money on this. Time you take the taxes out and the commission to Discord, it's hardly anything. I could charge 10 times as much and get it. Or not 10 times as much. Yes, I could. 10 times as much. And I could get it, my members tell me. But I don't. I make money from investing. That's the way I try to show you my transparency and my integrity and my deal to you. And the price will never go up. There's no inflation. I'm going to be on Discord in half an hour doing one-on-one support, showing my trades, how I'm preparing for this weekend, answering questions. I'll be there. Thank you very much indeed. Stay right where you are. It's now going to take you to the extra channel where we're live 24/7, replaying today's shows so you don't miss anything. People watch it in different time zones. Here is the link. If you don't, unfortunately, we didn't get 10 people become members. So there's going to be no members event right now. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Oh, I didn't do Q&A, did I? No one gets left behind. No one gets ignored. So I'm now going to switch to members only. I don't know if it already was. Let's have a look. Was it already members only? Customization. No, it wasn't. Right. Members only. So if you have a comment or a question, please now repeat it. If you said it earlier and I missed it, please now repeat it and I will answer every single question. No one gets left behind. No one gets ignored. Here we go.
At Diesel_Ada tipped $1.99 through Super Chat. Your work ethic is second to none. Fafo.
Thank you. This is our own merchandise from the shop. We sold out of this. They're all embroidered. Faff around and find out. People troll our channel. People attack us for being honest. There's the Lucasade logo on the back. There you go. If you want one of these, I can bring it back again. We've sold out. Every time we bring it back, it sells out. So anyway, no, we didn't get any members, so we're not going to be doing a members event right now. Anyway, your work, thank you so much indeed. So have I got any questions? Here we go. 5 minutes Q&A for everyone. What do you think of XRP becoming a commodity? I've got no thoughts on that. I've got no comment on that. I like the way that I'm able to sell it and buy it back the way you can with a commodity, tax-free. I don't have to wait 30 days. I think that's fantastic. But after that, I don't really care. I don't care about the way it's seen or regulated. I couldn't give two monkeys hoots. I care that I can buy and sell it and get a tax rebate and then still buy it for the same price instantly. That's fantastic. I mean, what's there not to lose? That's great. I think it's wrong. I think it's illegal. I think it shouldn't be. It shouldn't exist, and it won't for long. They're tightening that loophole up. But I think it's great that we can do that now. But I buy XRP because it's the payment rails of the world. That's what I believe to be the case, and I can see it making money. That's why I buy it. It's the plumbing, essentially. Martyn, we had more trolls in here than normal today. May need to start in members only during your opening monologue. Too many interruptions. You're probably right, Dinos. Yeah, there were some idiots in here today. But the reason why we have so many trolls today and so many idiots is because they're upset with themselves. That's what trolls do. Right now, those that are trolling me are losing all their money. They're losing all their money. Their portfolios going to zip. They've been dollar cost averaging and getting nowhere. They're seeing their pensions plummeting. They're getting destroyed. And because of such a thing, they're angry and they're frustrated and they take it out with me. And they're so angry and so stupid, they'll even pay to say stupid comments. I mean, that's how stupid they are. They're desperate. And I feel sorry for people like that. If you don't open your mind and you don't listen and you don't have an education and you don't have any class, you're just a pain in the ass troll. You serve no purpose to anyone. Most importantly of all, no purpose to yourself. You're wasting your own life. That's a shame, isn't it? Just bought a little more Google and Nvidia this morning. Congratulations. I'll be buying a ton more on Monday when I get paid. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Martyn, we be spinning the wheel for a stock review today. No, we didn't get 10 people, did we? I got no one to put on the spin the wheel. I said if I get 10 members today, I'll spin the wheel and we'll do a stock review. We didn't get no one did it after I announced it. Not one person. So there you go. Anyway, I'll be back later for a members event. I tell you what, I'll put a poll in. Who wants a members Electrum event stock review? I did promise you it. If you want me to, I'll do it for you. Here we go. Start a poll. Shall I come back with, because Electrum members get 2 of these a week. We've not been able to do one this week because of all the news. Shall I come back with an Electrum, Electrum members event and do stock analysis? There you go. Shall I come back with an Electrum members event and do stock analysis? Okay, if you want it, if the majority says yes, I'll do it. Yes or no. Only vote, please, if you're an Electrum member. I mean, if you're a non-member, you know, or not, you know, it's just a troll. This isn't for you. All right. So if you're an Electrum member, yes or no. There's no point voting otherwise, is there really? Okay. All right. There we go. I'll spin the flipping wheel, says Diesel Raider. Yes, Diesel Raider says yes. Kazansky says yes. There we go. Let's have a look. There we go. Wow. Wow, there you go. You see? This shows you how many members we've got. Look at that. We've got 221 watching, and there's trolls watching, non-members watching, and we've still got 67% saying a specific membership role. Not even all members. Electrum members. Look at that. 74%. That's it. I mean, I don't need to go on any longer. I mean, look at that. That's overwhelming. Right, I'm going to end and then come back and do that. That's incredible. That just shows you how many members we've got, how many Electrum members. I mean, that just shows you, to all the trolls watching that must annoy you. That must annoy you. Doesn't that annoy you? I mean, that literally we've got, 2,000 members. Majority of those are Electrum members. And you had the chance to say no and your voice wasn't worth anything. I love it. I love it. I love stuffing into the trolls because they're just like, it's a little game really, isn't it? Right, okay, that's it from me. Thank you ever so much indeed. I will see you all back shortly. I'm remaining in the market. I'm going absolutely nowhere. Don't care how much I'm down by. It doesn't matter. I've managed my money. Look at my buying power. Look at the margin. 45% buffer. 45% despite being down so much. I'm down so much and I've still got 45% buffer. I'm not getting margin called. I'm not going anywhere. I'm all in. And when the market turns up, I'll make so much money. You'll see me make 30, 40, 50 grand in a day. And all this will seem a long, distant future. Fortune favors the brave. That's it from me. But don't be blind to be brave. I'm not scared of anything. You should be scared. You should be on edge. You should be nervous. I'm scared. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't like what's happening in the world. I think it's horrible. I feel very lonely here in America. If it wasn't for my audience here online, I would pop back to England tomorrow. I've decided to walk away from nonsense and focus on what's right. And I'm here for you. And I'm here to support. I'm here to win. And I want to thank you all. I love you all. You are my friends. I hope to support you in the best way I can. I'll show up every day, all day, every day. I'll be back shortly after a tea break. And I'll be doing an Electrum members event, doing stock analysis, breaking down the balance sheets and everything else. Yes, we prefer more in-depth reviews. Okay, I shall be coming back shortly to do it. That's it from me. Now join me on Extra, where we replay the day's show. Also, it supports the channel. If you want to put it on mute, but just join me there and just keep it running on a tab, it really does help us grow. I want to be the first 1 billion channel. And you are all playing a part in that. By clicking on Extra and going there now, let me put now live now on Extra. By following us and just watching us 24/7, you don't have to listen, just mute it, but it gets to other countries and it helps us grow, and eventually we'll be a 1 billion. I know we can do it. All right, so there you go. There's the pin. There's the Extra channel where we're replaying what you saw this morning and Sensei, all of it. And join everyone live in the chat. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Until next time, as always, I'll see you on Discord in about half an hour, and then I'll be back later on for an Electrum show doing stock analysis. Good luck, everybody. Stay in the game. It's not how hard you can punch, it's how many punches you can take. Just remain in, focus on value, focus on earning money, stay invested, and you will win. It will come good. Not because it always does, because that's how maths work. There's a difference. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.